the tech CEO who found true freedom, emotional conversion story. He had everything the world could offer: money, power, influence. But late at night, in his luxury penthouse, he felt an emptiness no success could fill. Until one moment changed his life forever: a forgotten prayer, a Quran opened, and a truth he couldn't ignore. Watch how a tech CEO found freedom, not in the world, but in Islam. Once upon a time, in the bustling heart of Silicon Valley, there lived a man named Adam Ferris. He was a tech prodigy, a visionary, and the CEO of a company that had revolutionized digital technology. His name echoed in boardrooms, media outlets, and investment circles. People envied his achievements, admired his confidence, and some even feared his sharp mind. Yet, behind the polished suits, the luxury cars, and the towering office overlooking the city lights, Adam felt a gnawing emptiness, a void he could not name. Every day, his life seemed like a series of unending meetings, conference calls, and presentations. The numbers on his spreadsheets were impressive, his employees were loyal, and investors trusted his vision. But in the silence of his office at night, the silence that only money couldn't fill, Adam felt a strange heaviness in his chest. The city lights glimmered through the glass walls, and yet, in the midst of the brightest skyline, Adam felt darkness. Sleep became elusive. His mind raced endlessly with algorithms, market strategies, and the next big innovation. He tried every distraction: expensive trips, lavish parties, and even fleeting relationships, but nothing could calm the storm inside him. He started questioning life, the purpose of his success, and even the meaning of freedom. For all his control over technology, Adam had no control over the turmoil in his soul. One evening, as rain drizzled against his office window, he found himself scrolling aimlessly through the internet, seeking distraction or perhaps a hint of clarity. He stumbled upon a small video of a Muslim scholar speaking about inner peace. Something about the calm in the man's voice drew Adam in. He watched intently, fascinated by the idea that true freedom and happiness could exist not in money or power, but in faith and submission to God. The next day, Adam couldn't shake the feeling. He began reading more about Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, and the lives of Muslims who had found peace amidst trials. He discovered stories of men and women who faced hardships far greater than his, yet carried serenity in their hearts. The concept of surrendering to Allah, of trusting in His plan, seemed alien yet strangely comforting. For weeks, Adam studied in secret. He read translations of the Quran, listened to lectures, and even attended online discussions with Muslims around the world. Each verse he read seemed to speak directly to him, to the void he had carried for years. One night, alone in his penthouse, Adam held a Quran in his hands, its pages glowing softly under the dim lamp. His eyes fell upon a verse. Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Quran 13:28. The words struck him like lightning. He realized that all his achievements, wealth, and fame had never given him the peace he craved. The constant anxiety, the pressure to maintain an image, the endless race for more, it all meant nothing without purpose. In that moment, Adam felt tears welling up, tears he hadn't felt in years. He knelt, whispered a simple prayer, and asked Allah to guide him. The next few days were transformative. Adam noticed subtle changes in himself: calmness where there was anxiety, clarity where there was confusion. He began to perform small acts of worship, reciting short prayers, and reflecting on life beyond the material. His employees noticed the shift too. Meetings that once felt tense were now approached with a sense of balance. Even his interactions with colleagues became more compassionate, more patient. Despite his growing interest, Adam struggled with the idea of conversion. Could he really give up the identity he had built for decades? Could he face his family, friends, and the world with a new faith? Doubts and fears crept in, threatening to pull him back into the old patterns of superficial success. But every time he opened the Quran or listened to a lecture, those fears diminished, replaced by a profound sense of hope. One evening, after another long day, Adam attended an online lecture by a scholar renowned for guiding seekers of truth. The lecture ended with a heartfelt call to embrace Islam, emphasizing its simplicity, mercy, and the path to true peace. Adam felt a surge of courage and conviction. Alone in his office, he repeated the Shahada, the declaration of faith, with tears streaming down his face. At that moment, Adam Ferris ceased to be a man lost in the maze of worldly success. He became a servant of Allah, free from the chains of ego, fear, and emptiness. After conversion, Adam's life transformed profoundly. His work remained important, but it no longer defined him. Wealth and influence became tools, not idols. He allocated more time to charitable projects, using his resources to benefit humanity rather than just profit. Nights were spent in prayer and reflection rather than restless anxiety. He experienced a freedom deeper than any stock market victory, a serenity that no luxury could buy. Yet, the journey was not without challenges. Some colleagues questioned his new outlook, friends mocked his faith, and old acquaintances struggled to understand the transformation. But Adam had discovered a strength beyond comprehension. He found joy in silent prayers before dawn, in helping the needy, in speaking the truth even when it was unpopular. The void that once consumed him was replaced by purpose, gratitude, and unwavering trust in Allah. Adam's story soon inspired others. Employees who had witnessed his transformation began exploring spirituality. Families reached out to understand his journey, and the broader tech community marveled at the calm, grounded presence he now exuded. What was once seen as a man obsessed with control became a beacon of hope, a living testimony that true freedom comes from surrender, humility, and faith. Years passed, and Adam often reflected on the irony of life. The very technology he had mastered, the world he had conquered, had failed to bring peace. It was only in turning to Allah, embracing the simplicity and depth of Islam, that he found the liberation he had been searching for all along. The man who once chased endless ambition now found contentment in prayer, gratitude, and service. His story became a silent revolution, whispered in boardrooms, shared in personal conversations, and eventually reaching audiences worldwide. Adam Ferris, the tech CEO who seemed to have everything, had found the one thing he had been missing: freedom of heart, clarity of mind, and eternal peace through Islam. And so, Adam's life was a testament to the profound truth that no matter how high one climbs in the worldly realm, no success can replace the tranquility found in submitting to Allah. In a world driven by desire, competition, and superficial achievements, he discovered that the greatest victory lies not in power, but in faith. For those watching, the story is a reminder: no matter how lost or busy, how trapped by material pursuits or worldly anxieties, freedom is available to anyone willing to seek it sincerely. True peace is not in control, money, or influence. It is in turning to Allah, the Creator, with an open heart, seeking guidance, and embracing the light of faith. Adam's journey continues quietly, yet powerfully, a life reshaped not by algorithms or strategies, but by divine guidance and submission. And for anyone seeking hope, inspiration, or a path to inner freedom, his story whispers one timeless message: the world can give you much, but only Allah can give you everything. If this story touched your heart, imagine the transformation waiting for you through knowledge and faith. Share this video to inspire someone searching for true peace. Subscribe to Deeninminute and join us on a journey to stories that change lives. Click the bell icon so you never miss a story that could transform your soul.